This is the Jay Thomas Show.
The interesting, the odd, and the bizarre people behind the, interesting. The odd and bizarre stories. Jay gets in it, stirs it up, and spits it out. He's a professional. It's all here on the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover, Julie, Madison, Kevin Meaney, Garrett and Christina, and Ira the Weatherman. This is the Jay Thomas Show.
All right. As exciting as a Toyota with a stuck accelerator, the Jay Thomas Show is back on the radio. Kevin Meaney, who always brings incredible excitement in the studio, is here, or certainly in the area, or whatever. And today we have some kind of a crazy thing here. Well, the normal guests will come on and talk about the movies that are coming out, but we have a woman on later today whose dad was a serial killer, and she's written a book about, and I believe he got up in the morning and made them breakfast and everything else, and then he would go and he would kill people. And I
like 6 people at a time too.
Oh God, I dream of things like that. Not that I dream of being a serial killer, but like when you're out on the road doing stand-up comedy, it's like the perfect crime, really. Like you would go out and make people laugh, and then go back to the hotel. But instead of going back to the hotel, you go out and kill people.
There was a guy like that.
And then the next day you get on the plane and you go back and they write about you in the newspaper. Oh, he was so great and everything. I just kept thinking that would be such a great story.
He would go to college towns and then rape and kill women.
I didn't say rape.
Oh, all right. Okay,
I said kill.
Okay.
All right? I'm not raping people.
All right.
No.
God! You had to ruin it.
Now, wait a minute. He was a stand-up comedian, Garrett?
Yes.
No, he wasn't a stand-up.
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah, and that's how they found him. They were like, all these
God.
things are happening around colleges randomly, and they linked up his tour schedule with...
linked up his tour. Oh, was he opening up for me? Did I give him the idea? Anyway, that's horrible, Jay. What a horrible story to start the whole afternoon off with.
Well, no, it's going to come late. It's going to come late in the day. And, when these things are offered to me, I'm sure the people know. Now, and she's
you have your people go through everything, don't you?
Yeah, well, they send me everything, but yeah. I usually find the guest myself, and Andrea and Art Sears probably send me, half or 60% of the guests, and I find that, the next other half or whatever. And, so she was 15 before she realized her dad was this, killer.
My daughter doesn't know what I do for a living.
Well,
I just tell her, I said, never talk to me about my business.
That's
what I told her. I said, just never ask me about my business. Mm-hmm. She goes, Daddy, what do you do? And I said, please never ask me about my business. Ever. Ever.
Her dad was the Happy Face serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Phil has written something in the book. Dr. Phil writing about it, too. So, the Happy Face Killer. Now, when
we have the Happy Face Killer on tonight.
No.
And it's he's wonderful. He really is a happy face. He's wild. And let's bring him out now. The Happy Face Killer.
Hollywood. All right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Now, we have to be careful now.
Yeah, I know. I have to be careful about making my old references. I know management has called me. No, they called me. They talked to me. Yeah. They told me about about the Saints game coming up, right? So they said, Kevin, instead of, just know some of the players. Don't start spouting off, okay, and what about that Red Grange and the Galloping Ghost? And things like that. So I'm not going to mention any of that. All right? I'm going to stick with the time, what's happening in our world today.
It is amazing how old people's names, though. It's like, it's as if you read old newspapers
I don't
that are
read
piled up in a basement someplace. I'm stunned by...
I don't want to bring it up. Okay, management called me. Let's leave it the way it is, okay? I mean, they're pretty serious about it.
I got a bunch of notes from people because, as you know, I have given no money.
All the single ladies.
I have given no money at all to Haiti, and because there's enough money going to Haiti, I give to my normal,
You give to your white charities.
No. No.
I listened to the program yesterday where you had Madison's friend on. The Nazi? Madison's friend?
Yeah, the Nazi came on.
And I believe they changed the sign today that you're also on that sign on the highway now?
They thanked me.
At J. Thomas and the KKK.
Yeah, they absolutely thanked me.
Cleaning up the...
But there is a terrible story out there today. They have arrested a bunch of Baptists.
Oh, yes, I know.
It's a group from, I want to say
Iowa. They're Iowa.
Idaho.
Idaho.
It's a group from Idaho. And they went over there, and there's a lovely woman and her live-in nanny, and they're Baptist, and they went over, and they grabbed up 100 kids, and they put them into a bus, and they said they were taking them to the Dominican Republic, where there was going to be an orphanage opened for them. So people began to look into this.
More of a training center.
Well, they don't really know
train them so they can
be Baptists.
So they can be Baptists and come to the United States and they can be slaves.
Yeah, the problem is that most of the so-called little orphans, they had parents. And that's always a bad sign when you've got a group of individuals that's scooping up children and the children already have, parents. So, and then, I don't know if you know this or not, but Haiti, very Catholic country. It's steeped in, first of all, it was a French, protectorate for years. It was a slave island, and it was the first ever, slave revolt island ever, and they overthrew the French, and so they have a rich history in that. There's a lot of voodoo there. There are a lot of connections between Haiti
of voodoo
and New Orleans and South Louisiana and all that stuff.
And good voodoo, not bad voodoo.
To be honest, I have a voodoo doll, and I'm sticking pins in Peyton Manning's groin. I've been doing it for 3 days.
Really? Why in the groin area?
Well, that's the injury you want him to get. It's called a sports hernia. That's what it's called now. They don't call it a groin injury because, God forbid, you would say the word groin on national television while a football game was going on. But you want him to hurt his little groin.
Yeah, I was told not to bring up any of, don't go there with the groin and the...
You were told all this. So you had quite a meeting.
Yeah, I had a big meeting with
I'd love you to send me a picture of whoever runs the place. That'd be exciting to get a picture of them.
Jay, I'm just telling you, it was intense. I was crying.
Okay.
That's all. I had some listeners call in during the meeting.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. Now, so the Haitians are saying they didn't want the Baptists to take the children because the Haitians say dancing and sex are two big things that they believe in, on the island. And if the Baptists grabbed a hold of these kids, then they would, stop. They couldn't dance. These are very devout Baptists, apparently.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the big problems. So when a person found out they were Baptist, this is true. It wasn't so much they were taking them as orphans. They said, we don't want you Baptists to take our kids. And that's what stopped them. And they took them in chains. Did you see this? They handcuffed them.
They handcuffed the kids?
No, they handcuffed the so-called lady and her.
I thought the orphans were in chains.
And they said that God, they asked, they said, well, your church isn't sanctioned by the government or the state of Idaho or wherever it's from. You're not a nonprofit. You certainly don't have a permit for orphans. So what are you doing? And the woman said God told her to do this. And most of the kids had parents. So I think it is a complete a clusterfuck in Haiti. Now, here's the other one. Did you know that Israel is being actually criticized for sending aid to Haiti? Did you know this?
No, I didn't know that.
They sent over millions of dollars of aid, and they sent doctors, and I think they sent some.
Just not any doctor. They sent Jewish doctors over.
They sent the best doctors in the world.
The best doctor. I want a good Jew doctor.
Well, the people back in the Middle East said, wait a minute, why don't you do this for the people in Gaza? And the Israelis had an amazing answer.
What was their answer?
The Haitians are not trying to kill us, okay? They're not trying to murder us and blow us up and sending missiles, over the top of the fence.
They always have an answer, don't they?
They've got
so
an
answer for
they?
Everything. Because they're trying to kill us?
Yeah, they're trying to kill us.
That?
They're trying to kill us.
That's why we're not sending doctors to Gaza.
Yes.
Because they're trying to kill us here.
Now, who is that you're imitating? Is that Bill Cosby?
No.
Who are you imitating? Who is that? Who is that? I'm trying to guess now who you're doing.
Okay, you're trying. Okay, that was the guy.
It could be a comic no one's ever heard of that's dead since 1940.
That was Scott Davidson, who was in my dressing room for 2 years at Hairspray.
So you're imitating a person?
I'm doing an imitation of him. And it sounds nothing like him. That's what I would hear when he would talk.
So it's a person no one's ever heard of.
Exactly.
I see.
Yes, it is.
All right. Richard, New York, 888-4-102-102. The great Kevin Meaney is with us today. Yes, Richard, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Jay. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. You're like a guy, you're one of those guys that calls a lot. I mean, I don't know if you call a lot of shows, but, this has become a part of your life.
Jay, I only call your show.
Right. That's fine. But
why didn't you say hello to me?
Kevin, can you do a Haitian impersonation?
Yes, I can. I can work on that.
Sure.
All right, because I have this great idea, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying about how you got to get them to stop having children.
Yes, the Haitians. I want abortion doctors, and I want condoms to be dropped on top of Haiti.
We will not need them with my idea. We parachute Kevin Meaney in there, and he teaches all of them how to butt fuck each other.
Richard, you can never call here again.
Wow.
You're done. You're finished.
Cut that bitch off!
Get rid of him. Cut him off, right? Cut him off. He's done. Never.
That was uncalled for.
That was horribly uncalled for.
Even though there
was a kernel of truth to it. That's it. So,
yeah.
That's it. By the way,
my mother's listening today. I got her Sirius and XM. So, hello, Mom.
Can I ask
that was horrible.
You know what?
Said that Richard. Do you know him?
I was going to.
Your father's going to call Richard.
I was going to say something. I'm sorry that I'm bringing it up now, but it's next on my list of things to talk about. What is with the police in New York, where they have to stick things inside of people that they arrest? Did this
happen again?
Oh, there's a huge trial going on.
Another Abner Louima?
No, it's not quite as bad as that, but it's happened 4 times. This guy was a tattoo artist, and he was smoking a joint.
Right. Which is illegal.
I guess. The cops started chasing him, and he ran into the subway, and they got him, and they held him down, and some other cops came, and while they were holding him down, he claims that a metal baton went into his rectum. Michael Mineo.
That can happen.
Michael Mineo. Don't know if he's related to Sal Mineo, the actor. But these officers are on trial, charged with aggravated sexual abuse and then a cover-up for sodomizing a suspect. This is the 4th time this has happened in the boroughs there. And the guy, screaming and yelling and everything else. And finally, this young officer stood up yesterday in court. He said, this is going to ruin me. But yes, it happened. That's what this young officer said. Now, and the question continues. Why do they continue? Now, Mineo described the sodomy. It was painful. I was disoriented, and I saw white light. That's what he said. Please go online and look at this quote.
Look at white light.
Painful. It was disorienting, and I saw
of course you would see white light. You would see, God. Imagine that.
Well, he's not gay either, so it wasn't anything he cared about. It has
nothing. You're being sexually assaulted by a big metal baton.
Right.
That's not sex.
Bad.
That's not, fun.
Bad.
That isn't like what you do, Would your wife be able to handle that?
It was 1, 2, 3, then it stopped for a second.
All right.
Then I felt it go in and penetrate my anus. That's what it says here. Now,
horrible.
People all over the 5 boroughs, how many boroughs are there? 5 boroughs? 7 boroughs? 18 boroughs?
5 boroughs.
They're all saying, why? It seems to have happened everywhere. On the other hand, in New York, crime is down.
Yeah. Well, you read about that, right. The priest, the vicar in England, where he was changing his curtains in his kitchen.
And he fell and a potato went in his rear
potato went in his buttocks, his anus.
In his anus, yes.
So if things can that was a priest. I mean, they're not going to lie.
Right, no, not at all. And
nice big Idaho potato just fell right into his butt. And
right.
That happened. And the priest is definitely not going to lie.
No, not at all.
Ever.
But this guy, and by the way, it's been a very contentious trial, and there's been yelling and screaming and everything else. But it's so odd that it's happened so many damn times.
What does the wife of these officers say, Did they go on trial?
Well, I don't know.
He's never really asked for that in the bedroom.
Yeah, it's just,
the sex.
I just got an email from Reggie Monday. That's like a football player's name. Isn't that the center for the Colts? Isn't his name something Monday?
His name is Jeff Saturday.
Oh, Jeff Saturday. Yeah. I knew it was a day of the week. This comes from Reggie Monday. He said, Jay, have any stars flown over to Haiti? Yeah, I'm wondering how many kids Madonna tried to pick up, because she loves to grab a bunch of those kids.
John Edwards went over there.
What did he get?
He impregnated a few of the women.
He grabbed a couple of them. Angelina Jolie has a hovercraft that's just outside of the islands, and she's looking to pick up a couple of those kids. I don't know that any of stars are allowed, and also they're not allowing a lot of the private enterprise planes to land there, because there are military planes, and of course everybody's afraid that someone's going to blow up, I don't know, a United States plane or something. So they say that 1,400 planes and people want to go over, and only like 300 have been allowed to go over there. I don't know. Now, what I don't get is here again, did you care about Haiti like a month ago or 6 weeks ago or anything like that?
I've always cared about Haiti. I care about I care about everybody that's oppressed. I mean, these people, if somebody knocked on your door that had no shoes and no clothes and was cold, what would you do? You would help them. These people need help.
No.
They do. Poor countries need help from us. They need help from everybody.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, we should have helped them a long time ago. Yeah, we should help them a long time ago.
We have helped them, and we're continuing to help them. So it's not like, we just began to help these poor people in Haiti.
I think, and I'm going to say this now, that I think that what Anderson Cooper did, as far as I'm concerned, I would call that catastrophe porn. One night I turned it on, and I was in the airport and I heard the same thing. He put the microphone in the rubble to hear people screaming. Did you see this? No. He stuck the microphone in between some concrete blocks so you could hear the people screaming and begging, and it was so disturbing that I got up. I was trying to have a sandwich at the airport, underneath a speaker. And I got up and I moved all the way across the airport. And here's what's funny. I was flying with these two guys, and I said, I can't take any more of this. And I got up and I went. They thought I was talking about them. But it was and I think I'm ADD because my hearing, I can hear things intensely sometimes. It was awful. It was reporting porn, and their ratings are terrible at CNN. They continue to be no good, and they keep sending this guy. With
I love Anderson Cooper.
I'm sure you do. He's great. He's getting killed in the ratings.
Is he really?
Oh yeah, he gets smashed. You know, I was watching CNN the other day, and they've added this. They've added.
Does Hannity beat him?
Oh, kills him 2-1.
Oh, that
murders
Hannity.
him, kills him 2-1. Not that I'm nuts about Hannity, but the reality is that Hannity has me on and would have you on, but Anderson Cooper wouldn't, because CNN is doing real live news. See, but the thing is that CNN added that big fat woman, Candy Crawley.
Candy Crowley, and she's lost weight. Okay, so give her a break.
Bullshit.
She looks fantastic.
They've given her a show.
Yeah.
What? You know who Fox gave a show to?
She's really good. A hooker.
Almost. She's a lawyer, but she's gorgeous. Her name is Megyn Kelly, spelled Megye.
Yeah, Kelly's Court. I know. I watch. I know what's going on.
She's gorgeous. By the way, when I'm sitting down to watch TV, I'm not going to be watching someone. Her name is Candy, and she weighs 300 pounds.
Oh, leave her alone.
No, her name. I'm sorry. She's just.
Her name is Candy, and she weighs 300 pounds. That's horrible.
Her name is Candy. By the way, have you ever known anybody named Candy? Or
I don't think I've ever known a Candy.
They're always fat. I've never known a Candy that wasn't fat. I don't know any.
We have to Google
candies.
it. We have to find out. How these candies.
There's also a religious name, Bernadette. Like the song of Bernadette.
Bernadette Peters.
She's the cutest Bernadette in the world. Every other Bernadette I've ever met, fat.
What about Saint Bernadette?
I don't know what's. They didn't eat much. They didn't eat much. Let's listen to Bernadette. Hillary Clinton even liked that one. When is this pin going to run out of power? That I'd like to know. All right. We'll talk about movies and stuff. I think the number one director ought to be this woman that did Hurt Locker. I think that she should beat Cameron and all that. And by the way, we are going to have a screenplay writer on pretty soon. And he is very upset with this James Cameron and this Avatar movie, and a lot of people are.
Why?
It has made close to $2 billion worldwide, and I said it after I saw it. Because, by the way, what are you eating?
I'm not eating anything.
No, I can hear the chewing and the whole thing. Stop it!
I am not eating.
You know what? This is work, okay? You don't eat here.
I'm not eating.
Man, I'm not kidding you. I can hear you chewing.
Well, I think I
think the wires are crossed in there.
Yeah, really? Mm-hmm. If I was there now, I would stick a baton up his butt right now.
Oh, that would be great.
I'd hold you down until
Until I purged.
Now, what was I talking about before I heard the chewing? Huh?
You were talking about
the
Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker.
Oh.
And then some other
The reason why it's made so much money.
Avatar, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Avatar it is anti-American.
It's anti-American? What are you talking about?
I want to tell you, I bet you when you went to Valhalla High with my friend Frank Pace.
He went in the 40s.
Long before they knew you were gay, they still beat your ass. I bet you $10.
They did. You're a
smart aleck.
I was always getting beat up.
You're a smart aleck. That's
I
why.
am.
You're a complete smart aleck. Mm-hmm. But it's anti-American.
I got a JD card. You know what that is?
No, what is that?
Juvenile delinquent card.
Because you were beaten up?
No, because it's trouble. You're going to get a JD card. That's what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. A juvenile delinquent card.
The Avatar movie is making money worldwide,
right?
Because the Marines all get killed in the movie. For those who have not seen it yet, the giant 9-foot-tall blue people, okay, all get killed. They kill almost all of the Marines in our highest tech Army helicopters and everything. And this is supposed to be, what, in 100 years from now or something? When is this supposed to be? Would someone find out the exact date? Because nothing looks any different.
In the year 2125.
I hated that song. I had to play that when I was a disc jockey. Let's go to Iron Balls. What is it supposed to be?
2154, I believe.
2154.
And 2165 will still be rocking and rolling. Ho!
Iron Balls, thanks for calling the Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney. Yes, 888-410-102. Kevin's on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. And, of course, jthomas.com. Yes, Iron Balls. Go ahead.
How you doing, my friend? How you doing, Jay?
Good. Now, we haven't spoken to you in quite a while, but I remember...
I'm very busy, man.
Now, the derivation of Iron Balls, it was because people could strike you in the testicular region and you would not feel it? Is that why?
Absolutely no pain. My balls are made of iron.
And would you stick them out and let people strike them? What?
No, absolutely not. No stare. My wife does call me butterscotch balls occasionally.
She calls you butterscotch balls. But as a child, you were considered
iron balls.
Iron balls.
I've been kicked in the balls. The guys have put me down. But the reason I'm calling, Jay, is this fucking Haiti shit. I'm sick of it. This country, I deliver manhole covers. I used to deliver women hole covers. But now I deliver manhole covers.
You deliver manhole covers. You mean that cover in the streets for the city or the state of New York or Connecticut or
Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, everywhere. I just do Connecticut and Rhode Island. Now,
and do you lift them yourself? Do you have to lift them yourself, or this?
At times, I got a crane that does all the lifting. Sometimes I lift them. But
now, I would wait a minute. Now, hold on before we go into your comment. And Kevin, back me up. Wouldn't you think that a manhole cover would last like 100 years or 50 years or something?
I would think so. I think a manhole cover would definitely have a life expectancy of 75 years. Easy.
75 years.
No, they don't. They don't.
No kidding.
They get hit by plows. They get robbed. Mainly, you know what's happening now? They're getting fucking robbed out of the streets.
Are you serious?
Yes, they have to weld them in because they're taking them in for scrap. If they're helping Haiti, this country,
how much do you get? How much do you get per manhole cover?
In scrap, they got $2.50 for these certain galvanized grates that we delivered, 90 of them to a job site.
And why are they called manhole covers?
Because a man actually enters that hole. I used to deliver women holes when I was younger for an escort service.
I don't like that. I
know, we heard that.
This manhole cover thing.
You were a driver for an escort service at one time?
Absolutely.
And you would deliver the women. Were you also the guard that waited for the woman because you sent the...
At times, it depended on where the delivery went, you know.
Did you get involved? You know, in the movies, the guy always gets involved with one of the gals. You know?
No, with any of the gals, I got a blowjob here and there, you know.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant one of these romantic things where she was considered naughty and you're a good person and then you fell in love with her and you had this star-crossed love affair. No, didn't happen. No, they were just whores, no good whores.
No, I just needed money at the time.
Right. They were like Hank Baskett's wife from the Indianapolis Colts.
Did they know you as Iron Balls?
Yes, they did.
They did.
You know who she was with? She was with Hugh Hefner. Saggy balls. I don't know if you know that's what Hugh is called. Yeah. Pajama balls. That's what they call him. Pajama balls.
There was a guy that.
My point is, this country's so going downhill, and people are robbing manholes. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. There's no money in this fucking country, man. Connecticut is one of the wealthiest states in the United States, and there's so much robbery and killing. And you even just said the crime rate went down in New York. They're sticking batons up their asses. But it's ridiculous. Help here.
Well, I wouldn't want to get arrested with the possibility. Hold it. In New York, when I land in New York, I know to watch my P's and Q's. Okay,
yeah,
I know to watch my P's and Q's because, and you'll admit to this, Kevin.
Oh yeah.
If you knew that if you got caught doing something, some sort of a piece of equipment, a rod of some sort, or a radio. The kid originally said a radio was stuck up his anus, and that would make you not. A taser was put up a guy's ass.
How about what about that whole thing with Richard Gere? Wasn't he attacked?
No, he was not.
Yeah, that was
the gerbil.
Yeah,
they put a gerbil up his ass.
Yeah,
he did it. He put a gerbil in his ass in New Haven. I didn't realize that.
Put the fucking gerbil in his ass. They had to take it out of his asshole, crawling around in his ass. Imagine that. Hey, whatever gets you off. I got it.
That's all alleged. That never happened. Richard Gere's. By the way, do you know what P's and Q's?
Jay, I know people who work.
You know people that say they know that that's really what happened to Richard Gere.
I went to school with the girl that works there at the hospital. He was there. It happened. Absolutely. True.
That they brought Richard Gere in allegedly, and she did she use some? I have to say allegedly. What did they reach in there to get the gerbil out with?
I don't know. I got no idea what the
probably their hand.
They reached in there with their hand. Mm-hmm. Or a gerbil clamp. Mm-hmm. By the way, for those of you that often, I never, you know where P's and Q's came from, do you not?
No.
Yeah. Would you stop eating, Kevin? I'm not joking.
Really? What the fuck, man? What does he weigh, the guy?
He weighs a lot.
Does he work out at all? He sounds like a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. I like the guy. He sounds good. He brings
Thank you, Iron Balls.
We'll be lucky if he's not.
Like a great guy too.
In Old England, when they would order pints and quarts of ale,
I think you've said this on the show before.
No, I never said this.
Yes, you have.
No, I never said this.
Or it must have been some other radio show.
No, you heard this actually.
Probably P's and Q's day.
No, you heard this in the 1700s. You heard this yourself back in the 1700s. In Old England, customers would sometimes get, unruly, and the bartender would yell, "You better mind your pints and quarts and settle down," like that. And that became mind your P's and Q's because it meant they were getting too drunk.
Right.
That's what it meant. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. I bet there's at least, 50 radio DJs doing the P's and Q's things today. That kind of came over the service. It's like talk about the P's and Q's, the pints and quarts.
You mean one of the many joke services I buy?
The joke services that you buy. Which I liked. Anyway, I liked some of them the other day. They were great.
All right, I got to run. Really? I'm a very busy man. Anyways, Jay.
All right. I've never in my life talked to a guy that delivered manhole covers. Thank you so much. So, Kevin, that's the first salvo of the Jay Thomas Show. And here we are, just 35 minutes into the show.
Salvo, wasn't he the Mad Ripper or?
And already you've learned something that you didn't know before. There was a guy that delivers manhole covers. They're being stolen at an alarming rate. Okay. And as soon, and you know how they're being lifted? I don't know if you know this or not.
By, I don't know. What are they being?
New York City policemen are jabbing their batons in there and practicing. They're practicing. They use the manhole covers as kind of a practice piece of material.
Imagine that, like walking down the street and falling into one of those holes.
Oh my God! Oh my God! That's
stealing that.
Yeah. By the way, Christina will be answering those phones at 888-4-102-102. Garrett Andritz is at the controls of the Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney.
Jay Thomas, the afternoon drive show on Stars 2. Jay Thomas, Stars 2. Jay Thomas, Sirius 108 and XM 139. Covino and Rich on Stars 2.
Hey, it's Covino. I'm Rich. Talking about all the things that you want and how to get them. Like women, the job promotion, a good sandwich, a little respect. That's what I'm saying. Also, we talk about the things that you and your friends are talking about. Sports, music, entertainment, you name it, we talk about it on the Covino and Rich Show. You need to check us out.
Covino and Rich, noon to 3 p.m. East, 9 a.m. to noon West. Covino and Rich, midday. Sirius 108 and XM 139. Stars 2.
All systems turn on. Digital stimulation commences in 3, 2, 1.
Digital stimulation with Dr. J.
Ready, go.
By now, I'm sure you've heard of Apple's latest creation, the device that will change the way you consume media forever. So, now it's here, and you're excited, right? Actually, this thing is turning out to be the most overhyped, underwhelming product reveal of all time. People have been talking about an Apple tablet since 2002, and when the iPhone came out, everyone knew it was a matter of time before Steve Jobs glued 6 of them together to make one giant iPhone. Like the iPhone, Apple's new tablet computer has no keyboard and does not multitask. Unlike the iPhone, the tablet has no phone, and it doesn't have a camera either, and it doesn't play flash video. Now, you may wonder why I haven't referred to the tablet by its given name yet. Here it is, the iPad. When a guy hears the word pad, feminine hygiene is not the first subject that comes to mind. But for the other half of the computer buying population, the association is obvious. In fact, just hours after Apple's big reveal, the number 2 trending topic on Twitter was iTampon. Well, I suppose we can at least thank Stephen Co. for one thing. There is now a gadget that officially has a worse name than the Nintendo Wii.
Digital stimulation. I like that.
Get more Dr. J. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. East on Me and Vinny. Stars 2. Sirius 108. XM 139.
This heavyweight bout is about to begin. What's the champ wearing? Looks like an examination gown. And from the back,
Ooh, that's not pretty.
Champ, what's with the get-up?
I've got to take care of my family, so I'm getting those important medical screenings.
The fight is over! Champ, you look pretty healthy out there tonight.
But I'm still getting those tests. For a list of tests you need, go to ahrq.gov. And remember, real men wear gowns.
Go to ahrq.gov. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, AHRQ, and the Ad Council.
40 kilometers northwest of Kandahar, Afghanistan, at a remote desert military base, American soldiers are playing video games. There are cold drinks, snacks, comfy chairs, and an internet connection. It's the USO To Go program, and it's just one of the ways the USO supports our troops, lifts their spirits, and serves as a link with the American people. Find out how you can help. Visit us at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
Well, Valentine's Day is coming soon. It'll be, the 14th, of course, and that's going to be a week from Sunday. There you go. So everybody will be around. So you better get your Pro Flowers ready to go for Valentine's Day. Go to proflowers.com or call them at 800-PRO Flowers. A dozen assorted roses and that free glass vase. $19.99. If you've never tried Pro Flowers before, what are you waiting for? We all do it here because it's guaranteed for freshness for 7 days. Now, you cannot lose. Trust me. I've been talking about this for the past 6 or 7 years, and if you order and pick your delivery date, they are talking about guaranteeing a Valentine's Day delivery, but you've got to do this really fast, okay? So Pro Flowers is waiting for you with a dozen assorted roses for $19.99. If you get it in this week, perhaps before Friday, you'll get a delivery by Valentine's Day. 800-PRO Flowers. Mention me, Jay. Just say Jay or Jay Thomas. Or go to proflowers.com. There's a microphone in the upper right-hand corner. Type in your password, Jay Thomas, okay? Proflowers.com. Click on the mic, type in the password, or call them at 800-PRO Flowers. Don't forget this fabulous offer for $19.99, a dozen assorted roses, and the free glass vase. It expires on Friday.
It's the Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. A great way to waste 3 hours. It's the afternoon show on Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
You're up. Let's go to Ford on the phone at 888-4-102-102. Ford, that's your first name? Ford, like the car? Ford.
Nah, the first name is Murray.
Murray
Funny.
Ford. Oh, Murray.
Yeah,
so
Murray
you're
Ford.
named after a car dealership, Murray Ford.
Yeah, man. Hey, Jay,
Right.
you remember me? I was the guy that called you a while back. I thought I had the cheating wife. You remember that?
You thought you had the cheating wife. What was it that made you think she was cheating?
Well, you remember the guy at church and all that, and you was supposed
That's
to have
right.
the guy to do the prediction. Remember that?
That's exactly what, and you had, we had Kreskin on, Kevin, and Kreskin refused to do anything of a personal nature. And in fact, Kreskin has never done any predictions worth a damn.
I think
on
I
this
remember
show.
that show. Either I was listening to that show. I think I was listening to that show.
Right.
I wasn't on the show. I think
So-
I was listening to it.
One second, Murray. When you're home, you actually listen to the show. Do you enjoy the show?
Well, I listen to the show. Are you talking to me or are you talking
I'm
to
talking
Murray?
to Kevin. Hold on, Murray, 1 second. Yes, Kevin.
I listen to the show in the car when I'm driving up to my...
And do you enjoy it, or is it
I
that
do.
you're too close to?
No, I thoroughly enjoy the show. I laugh out loud. I do.
Wow.
I laugh. I think you're wonderful. You're a wonderful broadcaster.
Wow.
And Shuley and Rodney and Madison.
No, you don't have to do all of that.
No, they're great. And
Really?
Garrett, I love, and Sean, but he's not here anymore.
But sometimes,
I love
when I
everybody
listen to
on it.
another show, I
And
go,
you're new.
They're no good.
Yeah,
You know,
Christine
they're
is
no
new.
good. Yeah, she's new. All right, well, that's a great compliment. Thank you. Murray, yes, Murray, you feel the same way about the show when you're listening, Murray?
Yeah, well, I got, I ride in the truck, and I got that serious, so I listen to you. And when I first got a hold of it, I was like, man, this guy's pretty funny. But I kept trying to remember it. They said you used to be an actor. And I said, where did I see him? The guy was like, look on internet. I'm like, man, I'm a truck driver. So I was trying to find out what TV shows have you done that I could say, that's him.
Right. Hey, can you turn your radio down for a moment?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to tell you something, Kevin, that's happening. I've begun putting my audition acting reels and stuff and talk show reels up on the internet, right? So we put them on YouTube first because I save them on YouTube, right? And then I move them to Vimeo or whatever, and they're going to end up on jthomas.com, and it's going to be for people in the industry to go look at and stuff like that. So they're just sitting there on YouTube, and I have no interest in anybody looking at them. They're just sitting there. So like 20 people have looked at them, 15, whatever it is. Most of them casting directors or my managers or agents or whatever. We're talking about what to put in. I keep getting these emails that go, hey, nobody looks at your acting reel. You big idiots. It's not up there for you. It's up there for business, you big idiots. How about going to the Letterman story where I've got like 5 million hits? God. And don't look at my acting reel. It's not you can't help me. If you can't help me, don't look at the acting reel. Yeah. I'm only interested in people who can help me. Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, what did you call it?
When can you retire, Jay?
Well,
never.
Well, the reason why is because I enjoy your show, and I said, well, it's fun. I kind of want to put a face to who I'm talking to, and right. I said they said you did Cheers or something like that.
Yes, I was Eddie LeBeck, the hockey player on Cheers.
Okay, and I said I'm gonna try to find out and all that because
I'll tell you what. On March 7th, I'm going to be on Cold Case. You ever watch that show?
Yeah, I watched that.
All right, March 7th, I'm starring in an episode of Cold Case, and I have about 4 movies coming out. I'm everywhere. Mr. Holland's Opus is the movie everyone talks about. You need to do some research. Okay.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Opus, not opening.
Mr. Holland's Opening.
No, that's a New York police film. That's a New York film. Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead, Murray.
Why does it matter to you on what he's been in, Murray?
Well, he's an actor, and I'm talking, man. Hey,
you can be his Facebook friend.
And then he said he lived in Charlotte, and hey,
He never said he lived in Charlotte.
Oh yeah, I'm in Charlotte all the time.
Are you really?
Yeah,
I have a home in Charlotte. Yeah.
You don't have a home in Charlotte.
I do.
Are you like that broadcaster that had families all over the country, like Charles Kuralt? Do you have
really
like another wife and?
I don't want to have this discussion right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I brought that up.
But he said he's from Charlotte, and I'm right up. I got a friend live off Billy Graham. You know what Billy Graham?
Billy Graham. You mean the preacher?
Yeah, the preacher.
How many times I got to tell you? I don't need you to tell her.
Okay, fine. But Billy Graham, what a great man.
What did you call about, Murray? Out of everything we've been talking about, you're busy driving this massive. What are you carrying? What do you have in the back of the truck?
What are you hauling?
Yeah.
I am hauling something for Lowe's.
For Lowe's?
You don't know what it is?
No, they just put it on. It's a bunch of boxes, and I don't know what it is. It could be boxes.
Now, wait a minute.
I don't know.
I was reading today about how many thefts, there's a lot of 18-wheeler thefts going on. Yeah. Are you afraid someone may steal out of your truck when you park at the truck stop?
Yeah. You're not really supposed to tell if you got a high-dollar load on there because, people watch you and they watch where you park, and at night they'll go right in there and get you.
I had a trucker come up to me once in a bar this past year.
Really?
And called me from his truck and wanted me to hook up with him.
Was it the stick? Did you go to the Stick Shift? That's my favorite trucker gay bar that's out there.
No,
Garrett and I used to go to the Stick Shift all the time out on 11th Avenue.
I was flattered.
The trucker wanted to be with you?
Yeah, the trucker he was trying to pick me up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Murray, what did you call about?
Well, the reason why I called is I found out, about the gay, got me on
Murray, have you ever kissed a man on the lips?
Have I ever kissed?
Have you ever kissed a man right on the lips?
Well, I guess so. If you count my son, he's becoming a man now, so I guess I kissed him on.
Oh, my God.
You
like
can
Michael
kiss him
Jackson.
on the lips. You can kiss him on the lips.
I'd like to have some chocolate milk and cookies.
I kiss my kids on the lips. I kiss them everywhere. I tongue my kids in the ear sometimes.
Yeah, my son, he don't like that. But what not?
I tell you what, you tongue your son in the ear when you get home. You'll see he'll listen to you from then on out.
Want to read a book?
No.
So Murray, okay, I'm so sorry, Murray. What did you call about? Go ahead.
I remember I told you I thought I had the cheating wife, so I.
Oh yeah, right. How did that turn out? Please tell us.
Well, it didn't turn out too good because I ended up beating the guy up.
Oh no! Wait a minute.
Did he? Is he suing you?
Well, I don't know, but to find out that the guy that I beat up, and I hate to say it because you got a guy on there, but he was gay. He was man.
No, wait, you thought your wife was sleeping with a man? But wait a minute. You didn't know he was gay, but your wife was very friendly with him, and you thought they were having an affair.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. All right. Stay right there. Stay right there. We'll be back with Murray Ford, ladies and gentlemen, who beat a gay man who he thought was with his wife. Another sad but true story on the Jay Thomas Show. Plus, from the Rotten Tomatoes people, the whatever that it's a website that picks movies. We'll be talking to.
You've got the best guess.
We have the best guess. He's unbelievable, and we also have the woman who found out that her father was a serial killer, the happy-faced serial killer. And stay where you are. We also have the Hip Hop Monks, all coming up on the Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney.
The Jay Thomas Show. For idiots, by idiots. Non-stop idiot action. The afternoon drive show on Stars 2. Jay Thomas. On Sirius 108 and XM 139. Stars 2.
SiriusXM celebrates Black History Month. Every day during the month of February, Heart and Soul celebrates Famous First by African Americans.
You know, he's known for the Jell-O pudding. In 1965, Bill Cosby was the first black star of a network television show, I Spy. This is Jamie Foxx.
Hear your favorite artists.
Hey, this is Alicia Keys. Hi, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, this is Beyonce celebrating Black History Month on Heart and Soul.
Heart and Soul.
Sirius 51.
Criminal masterminds get away with it every day, but the dumb ones always get caught. And the really dumb ones get roasted. Vinnie Politan's Dumb Criminal Roast on Stars 2.
A young boy throws his football onto a neighbor's lawn in Clinton, Michigan. The 44-year-old neighbor picks up the ball and refuses to give it back to the boy. That's when the boy's 28-year-old dad goes next door to get the ball back. But instead of getting the ball back, his neighbor bites through his lip. Now the neighbor is facing 10 years in prison for assault with intent to maim. Legal lesson of the story: when committing an assault, don't bite off more than you can chew. A gunman busts into a check cashing center to steal some money. But before making off with the loot, the robber spends 10 minutes on the floor praying for forgiveness with the female clerk he just robbed. Legal lesson of the story: when committing a robbery, instead of praying for forgiveness, pray for a mask. Have you ever heard of the Bunny Ranch? It's a legal house of prostitution in Nevada. Now, have you ever heard of the Horse Ranch? A couple of men own the ranch. Customers visit the ranch to pay for sex, but there are no women anywhere. Just some horses. The two men are now under arrest, charged with bestiality. Legal lesson of the story: a horse is a horse, of course, but don't have intercourse with that horse.
It's the Dumb Criminal Roast with Vinnie Politan. Get more Vinnie on Me and Vinnie. Weekdays at 6 a.m. East. Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
It's the biggest game of the year, and Covino and Rich are right where you'd expect them to be. In the middle of the perfect storm. The Super Bowl. Here we go! Stars 2 sends Covino and Rich to the Bud Light Hotel in South Beach for a week's worth of parties, a week's worth of nussies, a week's worth of thongs, and a week's worth of football. Gotta love it, man. Covino and Rich, live from Super Bowl weekend South Beach. The action starts Monday, February 1st, noon East, from Bud Light and Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139. Be here. Society's oddities, played like a fiddle. The Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show on Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
When we went away, Murray Ford, truck driver, had called us for advice, and he thought that his wife might be fooling around with the guy at the church. Now, did I give you the advice to beat the man, Murray, or what was my advice to you?
No, you told me to pay people $50 and hopefully they would give me some advice, but I didn't have the money to do that, so kind of got
I
mad.
told you to pay someone to beat the man.
You told me to pay and find out. Give people $50 and.
Oh, right. I told you to give people some money because it's a small town and say, look, if you see anything. Now here's a crazy thing. So was your wife just friendly with a lovely gay man? It was probably a wonderful, meaningful relationship, and you took this wonderful homosexual man to be some sort of enemy of yours? I mean, that's sad.
Yeah, that's what happened. I did.
Did he scream like a woman as you were beating him, Murray?
No, he fought pretty good, Jay. I told you I was, remember I told you I'm the big black guy that when I come in and the women grab, they don't leave the hide first, they just leave it. I'm a pretty big dude.
So Kevin, he's a big giant black man, and now is the gay guy white or black?
He's a black dude. He's pretty big too.
He's a very large man. And then did you strike him in the head first?
I kind of saw him and kind of gave him a little look, and he kind of gave me a look, and then when I hit him, you know how a cat wow, he did like one of them kind of scratchy type moves, and he was like all over the place, and I started laughing because I was like, I'm thinking he was going to come out, swinging, punching, but he started like clawing.
He began to claw at you.
Yeah, like a cat, just.
He was trying to defend himself,
and the only way he knew how. Did he get a shot in on you? Did he hurt you at all?
No, I started laughing too much, man, and then
you started laughing. Did he say to you, "Of course, I'm not doing anything with your wife. I'm more interested in you"? Did he say, "I'm more interested in you"? No.
No. The wife said, "Why are you fighting him?" And I kind of let her know what I thought was going on, and she said, "He's gay, damn it!" And I was like, "Oh,
my God." Now, Kevin, in all of the years that you've been around, has any guy ever attacked you because you were friendly with his wife? Ever?
Yes. I had.
Kevin left the studio?
No, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Does that mean, am I live now?
You're live.
All that stuff I was talking about, that genius stuff I was just doing, nobody heard that?
No, I couldn't hear anything.
Just Jay couldn't hear it.
Oh, God.
Oh, what were you saying?
Jay.
I couldn't hear
genius comedy I was doing.
God, I'll have to hear it on the replay.
Yeah.
You pressed the wrong button. My question to you, Kevin, is have you ever been attacked for being with a woman?
I was in Boston, and the woman of this comedy club was having an affair with me. And she started
with her.
She started this affair with me, right? And then her husband found out that I was having sex with her, and he chased me out of the club and says, "I'm gonna put a 38 in your head," right? And chased me, and then I dove into the cab, and the cab driver goes, "Where you going?" And I said, "Anywhere." I said, "Just get me out of here." And he took off, and I was in the back of the cab, and.
But you were doing something with her.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, Murray, this guy wasn't doing anything with your wife.
Oh.
No, he was just really kind of coming out of the closet, really, and, he was letting her know everything and all that, and they were just really good friends, man. I mean, he was just, and I said, oh, my God, now I feel a little kind of bad about that.
Well, you should. You're a bad,
Are you going to go to jail?
Boy.
You're going to jail?
No, I mean when he found out what I thought, he understood. He was like, man, no, man, I'm not like that and everything. But I was like, wow, and I couldn't believe it that this dude. I mean, this guy, most gay guys look kind of, they look nice. They have some cats, man, and they. Man, and I was
he doesn't look like a gay person. He's scruffy,
he could get any woman he wants pretty much, and I mean, it was like, wow,
Wow. As I could get any woman I want.
No, you couldn't.
I could.
You could get a woman named Candy. That's about it.
Hey, and I wanted to tell you something. Y'all saying that women like Candy is big and fat. No, I know a girl, Candy, that was in the Air Force. Jay, man, she had the type of butt you could sit on and wave your feet. I mean, she was just, she was fine.
Who could sit on her butt and wave your feet? I gotta write that one down. That's one I don't
get it. You can sit on her butt.
Her ass, you could put a platter on it. It wouldn't spill. Her ass
it wouldn't spill. You could put a six. I mean, just wouldn't.
You know what that's called? That's called being steatopigenous. When a woman's ass sticks out like that, she's steatopigenous.
You should send that in to Bill O'Reilly.
I don't know what that means, and it made me laugh. Well, Murray, I'm sorry you beat the poor gay man, but it looks like you and the wife are going to be doing okay from now on. Is that right?
That's why Christy didn't want to tell us.
Right.
The guy, the psychic guy.
Yeah, because he knew. Prescott knew. Not Krusty. Prescott
said Krusty.
He did. He said Krusty. It's Krusty. All right, Matt Atchity is coming up from RottenTomatoes.com to talk about the Golden Tomato Awards in just a few minutes. And Murray Ford, thank you for making...
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.
Exciting moment of the Jay Thomas Show. Long from over, plus a woman who found out that her dad was the happy-faced serial murderer. And, of course, Kevin Meaney. I'm coming from California. They're back in police sticking something up your ass, capital of the world, New York City.
The 2010 NASCAR season is here. All the races.
The Budweiser Shootout, the Gatorade Duel, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, the Nationwide Series, the Daytona 500.
Exclusive content. Tony Stewart Live.
Nobody has tamed the beast.
Driver to crew chatter. NASCAR Media Day.
The game is on.
And it all begins with Speed Weeks in Daytona.
We're going to put on a show.
Exclusively on Sirius NASCAR Radio.
Some of the best racing in NASCAR.
Channel 128.
Fridays at 8 p.m. East. The Game On guys give you the tips and tricks to bag the girl.
Hey guys, Jordan Harbinger here from The Art of Charm. There's a particularly strange challenge I tend to face as a dating coach. It's not how to get a woman's number, get a date, or even take a girl to bed. In fact, it's none of those typical things at all. Simply put, I have a seriously difficult time around here getting a lot of guys to even believe what we talk about is possible, let alone something that the average guy can attain. While this topic is too big to explore here, I'll tell you how to get started, and if you want more, go to pickuppodcast.com. Don't get me wrong. I've still never issued even 1 penny back to a customer for quality control reasons. These guys don't even want their money back. It's just they usually start to get results they've never seen before relatively quickly, and it overwhelms them. It's almost as if there's a comfort zone of success that we find believable as guys. It's sort of like we find ourselves with the kind of woman who isn't exactly what we dream of, but who's better than the ones we've been able to attract in the past, and we hold our cards. But my vision for every single guy I see here at The Art of Charm is much, much loftier than that. Is average success with women really good enough for the average guy? It shouldn't be. So deserve what you want, and if you choose to do so, I've got your back all the way. Have fun out there, and be sure to catch Game On every Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sirius 108 XM 139.
TheArtofCharm.com for more ways to live a great life and get the girl. Only on Stars 2.
Stars 2.
Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Attention truckers. Get money for your freight bills today from TruckerFunds.com. 1, 5, or 50 trucks. TruckerFunds.com gives you the lowest rates, highest advances, free credit checks, and the best service in the industry. Just ask for our references. Our clients love us. At TruckerFunds.com, we treat your business like our business. Call 866-950-6669 or online at TruckerFunds.com. That's 866-950-6669 or online at TruckerFunds.com.
Nowadays, when I talk with folks, they know Geico could save them hundreds on their car insurance. But what they want to know is how Geico does it. Well, I say, we got tons of great discounts, like good driver discounts, multi-car discounts, and they say, there's no secret formula, and I say, nah, it's just what we do. And then sometimes they say, maybe a talking gecko's a secret. Well, I wouldn't know what to say about that.
For a free rate quote, visit Geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How fast could your business take off if it were featured in an upcoming LegalZoom spot? Stay tuned. February is National Start Your Business Month, and LegalZoom is making it simple and affordable to start your business and take it to the next level. Whether your business is just getting off the ground, a work from home, or already thriving business, chances are you need some important legal documents. Maybe it's time to incorporate or file a DBA, or maybe you want a trademark. LegalZoom can save you a bundle on virtually any legal document. If you complete it at LegalZoom this month, you could be featured in an upcoming LegalZoom spot. Plus, when you incorporate or form an LLC through LegalZoom this month, you'll get a free website design and marketing package, including domain name and hosting for 30 days. LegalZoom isn't a law firm, but was started by top attorneys to provide self-help services at your specific direction. promotion. February is National Start a Business Month. For even more savings, enter SiriusXM at checkout. That's LegalZoom.com.
Jay Thomas Show. Every day something new. Something new. Sirius One.
That was crazy. You know, crazy stuff had been happening all day. Things were running when they weren't supposed to run and all that, and next thing you know, the whole damn room goes, right? Crazy. So is it all fixed now?
Looks like it. No, we're coming in loud and clear here.
You know what? You're coming in better now than you were before.
Well, we did some work on it. You know, we kind of recrossed the wires and just.
Probably why you heard Kevin eating, or you thought you did.
Before. Yeah, probably. Really? Yeah. It was all a mess. Yeah. You know, it was all a mess.
Yeah, but I've actually been purging all day.
By the way, we started the show, and a guy named Richard from New York called, said something rude about Kevin. He's called back, and I will never speak to him again.
Okay.
And so tell him to hang up. He can never call back again. He's a guy that had no life to begin with, called here quite often. Put him on for a second. Put him on. Is he gone? You hung up on him?
I'm talking to him now. He's saying he wants to apologize.
No, there's no apology. So. He had no life before. All he had was he would call the show like so many others. Right. They call all the time. And that's it. And so here's how it works. I have a thing called one strike, Kevin.
Mm-hmm. One strike.
You don't get two chances. Goodbye. That's it. Get rid of him.
No, Christina.
Forever.
Christina just told him.
Yeah, you know
one
what?
Strike. Goodbye.
Yeah. You know,
this isn't the government.
You got no life anyway.
Yeah.
And so you wait till the show comes on and, you know, then you make a comment and it's what you mean in your heart.
And do you really need him as a listener?
No.
I did this one thing.
I have a suggestion for Richard. The 70s Saturday Spectacular is a show for you. You'll really enjoy it.
I was doing this show out in Detroit, this radio program, and this caller called in during the break, and I said, and this is not even on the air. Yeah. And I said to him, he gets me on the phone, and I said, you know, you're an idiot. Shut up. And so the DJ goes, don't you ever talk to my listeners that way. You're off my show.
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, oh, my God. I just
told
it, you know.
No, that's not me.
Don't you ever talk to my listeners that way.
No. I defend
the guy was an idiot.
That are here. Hey, let's go to Melissa Moore. Melissa has written a book about. Melissa, welcome to the show. This is an unusual one, but your book is about the fact that your dad was a serial killer, and were you weren't aware of it until you were how old?
I wasn't aware until I was a freshman in high school. I was 15 years old.
You know, we were both, Kevin Meaney is here too. He's a stand-up comedian. There have been some people who went on the road, either actors or,
entertainers.
Entertainers. That
entertainers.
Have been accused of crazy stuff. What did your dad do for a living? What did he do?
He was a long-haul truck driver that would go across the nation. He had several different routes, but most often he went from Washington State to California.
By the way, the book is Shattered Silence. We have, now they pretend that we have all sorts of different listeners at SiriusXM. Mm-hmm. I say that we have 75% truckers that are glued to the radio.
Yeah.
And so
people that travel listen to the radio. It's a wonderful.
When would your dad have been on the road? How many years ago?
In 1990 to 1995.
Ooh.
That is recent history.
Yeah.
And what is your dad's name?
His name is Keith Hunter Jesperson, and the media called him the Happy Face serial killer.
The Happy Face serial killer.
Keith Hunter Jesperson. I bet you we have people. Did he work for a big company, or was he an independent contractor?
He worked for several big companies. Some of them were based out of Spokane, Washington, and then some were based out of Yakima, Washington.
So he would pick up. He would go out on the road in his truck and deliver stuff. And then when he would stop at night, or whenever he would stop, he would find a victim and then kill them?
Yes.
Who would he kill?
He mostly killed prostitutes that were kind of home based at truck stops.
Oh, you mean they call them lot lizards? You know that term, don't you?
Yeah, that's what my dad called them. Yeah.
But they call them that to this day. Now,
so how do you know that your dad would call them lot lizards? He would tell you that?
Yeah, he would tell me that. Now that I'm older, it all makes sense and all the puzzle pieces are put together. But growing up, it was just, I heard these terms, but I never put it all together in that sense.
So you were in like 9th grade, you're freshman in high school, and your dad would be on the road and kill people, and then would come home and hug you and love you and be a normal dad?
Correct.
Wow. Yeah. Would go to like school meetings and PTA.
Did he make breakfast for you in the morning and act like a regular dad when he was home?
Yeah, he'd act like a regular dad. I remember him going to my basketball games and sitting there cheering me on, and he had this whole double life. And there was glimpses that, I was just too young to understand. For instance, when I was 13 years old, we were going on vacation to the Oregon coast, and as we were passing the Dalles area, he said to me, Melissa, I know how to kill someone and get away with it. And I took it
as... Wait. I know the Dalles. I've been around Oregon. The Dalles, explain, it's kind of a system of rivers or marshy kind of an area, correct? Isn't the Dalles?
Yeah. And
now, I want you to go back slowly. How old were you?
13.
I was 13.
Were you alone? Was your mom with you? Was there a sister or a brother with you, or just you?
It was myself. I'm the oldest. I have a sister who's 4 years younger, and then my brother's a year younger. We were all in the car, and of course I had called shotgun to sit in the front, so I was right there to hear the whole thing. And my brother and my sister remember this conversation too, but
it's a little bit more clear for you.
Yeah, it was more clear for me because I was the oldest.
Right. And he said to you, "I know how to kill a person," and then what was his explanation after that?
He then, at the time, gave details of the murder case of Tanya Bennett, but I didn't know that. He didn't say a name.
He had killed Tanya Bennett.
Right, he had already killed Tanya Bennett.
And how did he kill Tanya Bennett?
How he described it in this hypothetical kind of situation, as we're in the car telling us kids the story, is that he would kill a person by strangling them, and that he would remove forensic evidence by cutting out the button, and so there wouldn't be any fingerprints, and by disposing
cutting out the button, the
button, like the jean buttons, the fly area off the jeans.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So he would make sure that the metal, he was saying, could hold a fingerprint.
Wait a second. He was telling his little girl with the kids in the back. Was your mother in the car too?
No, my parents divorced in 1990.
And he probably did he get full custody?
Yeah.
No, he just came to visit in the summertime, and so thankful for...
He didn't kill during the summer then?
Not while he had us.
Right.
Maybe, I think in August.
Now, he would describe to you, and this is his way of confessing.
Wow.
And so as you're sitting there, now of course I remember my dad saying things to me, I'm sure everybody does, and they go in one ear, out the other.
Right.
Did you think it was an unusual conversation that your dad was telling you about how to cut the place where the DNA would be around a woman's, crotch area, basically, right? I mean,
he was saying take off the button. The button had a fingerprint on it, or?
He said that it could hold a fingerprint. Yeah. Going back a step, when my dad came to my house to come pick us up and take us on a summer vacation, when I called shotgun and I sat in that passenger side, on the seat were these magazines, these forensic magazines that had pictures of crime scenes on it. I took them and I'm like, this is not reading material that I would pick as a 13-year-old. So I took it and I shoved it underneath the seat and I sat down. And so then when we were closer to the Portland, Oregon area, when he says, I know how to kill someone and get away with it, how I rationalize it is, this is the story he just got out of that magazine that threw underneath my seat. So, first of all, I do think it's odd that he's telling me this strange story, but I didn't find it so odd because to go back even further, my dad had this obsession with whatever movie was out at the time that carried an underdog kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
The latest one was Crocodile Dundee. He kind of took on that persona. He wanted to be Crocodile Dundee. So I remember after watching that movie, he went to a leather store, bought a long trench coat and a hat, and tried to impersonate what that would be like to be Crocodile Dundee. So I thought, oh my gosh, my dad's immersing himself in
Did he get the big
interest.
giant knife and everything?
I don't remember, but he was. I do remember
Crocodile
being embarrassed.
Dundee. The famous thing was a guy pulls out a little knife,
switchblade, and then he pulls out
a switchblade. He says, "No, mate, this is a knife," and he pulls out this, giant Jim Bowie type knife.
Yeah. No.
So how many people did your dad end up killing?
He's confessed to 8, and he sent a letter. What kind of?
And he's in jail now? He's on death row?
He's in prison, not death row. He's serving life in prison.
And do you go to see him?
No, I don't. I don't go visit him.
There was a time, though, that I read that you did visit. I mean, you actually tried to have some sort of relationship with him after he went to jail?
I did when I was younger. What's hard to explain to people is that going through what I went through as a child with my parents divorcing, and I really looked to my dad to still be a dad because he was such a good dad. He lived that double life. I wasn't aware of of him murdering women up until I was in high school, but it didn't really sink in. I was in denial about it.
Did he ever strike your mother? Did he ever hit your mother?
No, he never hit my mom at all.
He never strangled her and said, like in a fight, or grabbed her and said, cursed, I'm going to kill you, you bitch, or anything like. He never blew up in front of your mother.
Never blew up.
Wow.
One thing that does stand up, I have a couple situations from memories of growing up that stood out in my mind as now being very abnormal, was we grew up in a rural area in Toppenish, Washington, and we used to have this acre of property that was lined by electric fence, and my dad was home from trucking for the weekend, and he was taking care of the household chores, and one of those chores was to burn the field, and so he was control burning the field. And while he was taking a break, I asked him, I said, Dad, how do I know if this fence is on or off? And I'm about 7 years old. And he said, well, go touch it. And I went and grabbed it, and it wouldn't let go of me. The electricity was on, and he stood there kind
just
of
like
laughing,
Jurassic Park,
just laughing at me, and he thought it was hilarious. He thought it was totally funny. I kept asking him to, turn it off and get me off this fence, and he eventually did. It felt like forever. Who knows how long it really was? It's probably a couple of seconds, but it did feel like forever. And he looked at that as being a learning lesson, but obviously it was pretty traumatic for me as a young girl. Enough that I would still remember it.
Melissa Moore has written Shattered Silence, and no matter what stories she tells here, I've seen the reports and read parts of the book, and it's
sounds like a great book.
It's also going to be I'm sure it's going to be a movie, right, Melissa? I mean, have they made the deal for the movie yet?
We're not to paper yet. It's there's a couple offers, and so I'm still thinking it through. Yeah.
Oh, here's another question. Did he torture animals? They're always talking about, and when I was a kid, maybe you knew a kid in your neighborhood too, that did stuff with either butterflies or dragonflies.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer, he tortured animals.
And a lot, but even kind of weird kids in my neighborhood, I remember, would do stuff to cats and dogs, and recently I read about...
But were they serial killers, Jay?
No, but they were weird guys, and I always thought that it was a precursor to some weird stuff that now they're finding kids that are chasing down raccoons and deer and stuff and running them over with cars. It's running rampant. Montana, Wisconsin, Michigan, Wyoming has this stuff. Did your dad torture animals in front of you guys ever?
He did.
Oh my God! What did he do?
There's several incidences that I remember.
Oh my God!
How did you write the book?
What did he do with the animals? Give us an example.
But when you were writing, you'll tell us this, but did you cry when you were writing the book and these scenes you had to relive?
Oh, she had to.
I did. I cried, and actually, I was My husband's a big fan of the show Medium, and this last episode, I actually just broke down in a full anxiety attack when the first scene was this daughter that kills a cat, and it brought back all these horrible memories of what my dad used to do to cats. And it still haunts me today. So there's still times when I'll get a trigger like that it will.
He would do what to your cats?
One of the memories and I put it in the book, was when I was younger. I found these kittens in the cellar, and I decided to take them outside and play with them. And my dad saw that I had these kittens in my arms, and he asked to see what I had, and he obviously knew what I had in my hands. And he took them one by one, these little kittens, and he hung them by the tail on the clothesline until they clawed each other. I was begging my dad to let them go, free them, and he was, you could tell on his face that he was enjoying it. And so I ran in the house to go get my mom, and by the time we came back out, by the time my mom and I came out of the house, the kittens were dead. It looked like my dad had taken them off the line and had smashed them on the ground.
Yeah.
It was that.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Do you think your mother should have turned your dad in years and years ago? Do you think your mother had any idea before they got divorced that he was capable of murder?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she says she didn't know. It's just like what you said. Those kids in the neighborhood that are creepy and hurt the animals. It's kind of a leap in your mind to think, oh, now they're serial killers. Well, back then, I mean, nowadays we look at that and say that child's really disturbed. That child needs help.
Yeah, but you still don't have somebody locked up because that's
the weirdest part about all of this is that there are signals. Even that doctor, that mass murdering, psychiatrist, even though he was an Arab and all that, doesn't make any difference. He was showing such insane tendencies.
Oh, he should have been locked up. But I mean, there were so many signs there.
By the way, the book is Shattered Silence, and here we have all of these truck drivers. I fear, Melissa, that there might even be a guy listening to us now who does crazy stuff on the road, because you could kill, rob, do things, and then you're off and gone, and you leave very little evidence, right?
Right. I mean, you're one state one day and 2 states the next.
Yeah.
There's no trace, and plus a lot of the prostitutes at the truck stops, they had troubled backgrounds, home life. They may not be in contact with their family anymore.
And they just end up being Jane Does. They don't have any identification on them, so nobody knows who really they are.
Right.
I have two. By the way, your dad is Jesperson, Keith Jesperson.
We can write to him, right? Now, what?
You don't want to write.
No, what prison is he at? I'm sure
what
there's
prison
people
is
that
he
want to.
No,
I'm going to write to him.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not.
Oh God.
What prison is he in?
He's in Salem, Oregon, at the state penitentiary.
I'm going to ask him.
Your dad's a serial killer, and he's caught by whom?
He's caught by the Vancouver Police Department, Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, those Canadians! They never give up.
No, Washington.
I'm sorry, Washington.
You said Vancouver. You said
so.
Vancouver.
They grabbed him, and you guys weren't living with him at the time, right?
Right. He was in California when they flew over. The detectives flew over from the Vancouver, Washington area to question him on the murder of his fiancée. And
did you know her?
I met her briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met her.
Now, was she a prostitute that he fell in love with, you think?
No, she was actually a normal. I mean, normal maybe not the right term, but just your average girl next door kind of lady.
Oh, she probably was normal.
Yeah, she was. She was really nice and down to earth, spunky, fun. I was actually really hopeful that this might be where my dad would settle down and not be so weird. I called it weird, because I was a teenager, but.
Yeah.
I did see some characteristics of my dad that I just thought were bizarre. And
what did the kids in school say when they found out your dad was a serial killer?
that was hell on earth.
That must have been horrible.
What
would they say? Like the meanest thing?
Oh my God! You mean you had to go 4 years?
Killer.
You had to go 4 years to the same high school, or did you start homeschooling? I would have.
I wish I could have homeschooled. I wish. I mean, dating was.
Oh, the dating was the worst.
And getting married.
Oh my God!
Oh my God.
All right, wait a minute. Hold it a second. Let me ask you. You're married with children.
Yeah.
And so you meet a nice guy, and I know you're religious and you've converted to you're a Mormon and all that.
Of course, you're a Mormon.
You meet this guy and at I guess a church dance, and does he know your background as he falls in love with you?
No. He doesn't know my background, and that was very difficult to fall in love with this guy and have to tell him, oh, by the way, how do you break the ice with that? How do you
my
share
dad's
that?
the happy face killer.
How did you tell him?
Well, I waited to make sure he really liked me.
Yeah.
And we were dating for about 3 months.
You waited 3 months to tell him that your dad was the happy face killer?
You know, I saw you on Dr. Phil, because I did Dr. Phil also, and just one of the shows I happened to see was yours. And you do seem to have, as much as you can, and you can hear it, Kevin, a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
And the guy, he didn't believe you at first? Is that what you said? Did he think you were joking? Your fiance?
He was taken back. I mean, how do you respond to that? I don't.
Yeah, what do you? What do you say back? I mean, I guess nothing he could do would shock you.
You just say, "Well, is he in jail?" Or
So did it take him a few days to recover and decide he still wanted to be with you?
It took him a little while. He really he pushed back a little bit by just taking some time to think about, which I totally understand. Yeah. If I was dating a guy and he said that his dad was a serial killer, I would question what issues does this person have that maybe I'm not aware of. I mean, I totally understand that's a normal response, and so I respected his space, and he eventually came to the conclusion that he knew the kind of person I was. I don't have any characteristics that are like that. I mean, being a serial killer isn't genetic.
Do you have a cat now?
Behavior.
You have a cat?
I don't have a cat.
You have to get a cat. You need some kittens.
I do.
I'm going to ask you quickly. I do want to. You have 2 children. By the way, the book is Shattered Silence. It's a bestseller already. The guy's a trucker, Keith Hunter Jesperson. He's in jail. She actually tried to have a relationship with him after jail, but now has written the book. And there's all sorts of stuff and what Melissa went through. And you have these 2 kids, and you have in-laws, right?
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I mean, my mother-in-law doesn't trust me at all, and is always looking at the kids and, oh, you're just like your granddad, or you're just like this, or whatever. Do you fear that there's something either in your brothers or sisters or even your own children that could click like inside of your dad?
I used to have that fear until I did my research and found out more details about how you become a serial killer. And
how did he become a serial killer? Did his father or mother beat him, or?
It was a cocktail of a perfect storm. It was his characteristics with his environment, with.
Was he beaten or sexually abused as a kid?
I don't believe he was, but I mean, I don't know if he was for sure, but my dad does say that it was an abusive environment in his home. But I don't know I don't think that was the number one leading cause to him becoming a serial killer. Otherwise, there's so many other children out there that are beaten, terribly, and they don't become serial killers. So I know it's not just one part. I know it's a combination of factors. And the only comfort that I got was that there's no study that shows that a serial killer is a born trait and that it's genetic and can be passed to generations. So I know that my son and my daughter and I were not predisposed to be sociopaths and serial killers.
Wouldn't that be weird if your husband became a serial killer?
What's that?
Wouldn't that be weird if your husband became a serial killer?
That would be really weird.
That would be really weird. That would be
weird.
Now, go to Melissa.
How can this happen?
MelissaGraceMoore.com. Melissa Moore's book is Shattered Silence. Now,
do you sell T-shirts?
What's that?
Do you sell T-shirts?
No, she doesn't.
Well, my dad was a serial killer.
Now, wait a second. You decided to write a book, and you, of course, wrote everything about yourself. You could have just written about the serial killing, but you went into the fact that you had an unplanned pregnancy. You talk about everything. What I worry about is when you open the door, it affects your husband, your children, and you're on Dr. Phil, and then it becomes a movie and it's a book. You're going to make, money at it, and I know that. And you sound so incredibly squared away.
Oh, she sounds great.
What was the decision to tell
for now
all of it, warts and all? I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. I am pro-choice, and I've been through every situation. But I wonder, why do you think you had to tell every nuts and bolts thing about you also?
The truth sets you free, Jay.
Is that
You're
it,
right.
Melissa?
That's it. I live in Washington State, and there's another family that their father was a serial killer.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
I know.
Melissa, please.
There was another family down the street. He was a serial killer, too.
Now, wait a second.
Let me clarify.
By the way, property values must have gone down in that neighborhood. Now, you mean you met a woman and you go, "Hi, I'm Melissa," and the woman says, "Oh, was your dad the happy face killer?"
No, it doesn't go like that. It didn't go down like that. I knew about the family because of the news, and so I.
And did you bring over a pot roast? Did you bring over some?
Not a pot roast.
I tell you what, we're going to take a break. Melissa Moore is here. Shattered Silence. I really didn't think we would get a lot of laughing out of this interview. But I did see you on Dr. Phil, and I've read everything about this book.
It's so interesting.
It is, and I'm so glad that you seem to have your act together. And at the same time, I know Kevin's heart. My heart goes out to you. When we come back, we want to hear Melissa tell us the story about how it ought to be a book called the Serial Killer's Family Next Door. Could be. I
can't wait to tell my daughter about this.
Shattered Silence is the book. Melissa Moore is here, and it's the Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney.
Jay Thomas Show. Every day something new, something bizarre. For you, for now. The Afternoon Drive Show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139. Covino and Rich on Stars 2.
Hey, it's Covino. I'm Rich. Talking about all the things that you want and how to get them. Like women, the job promotion, a good sandwich, a little respect. That's what I'm saying. Also, we talk about the things that you and your friends are talking about. Sports, music, entertainment, you name it, we talk about it on the Covino and Rich Show. You need to check us out.
Covino and Rich, noon to 3 p.m. East, 9 a.m. to noon West. Covino and Rich midday. Sirius 108 and XM 139. Stars 2. Fridays at 8 p.m. East. The Game On guys give you the tips and tricks to bag the girl.
Hey guys, Jordan Harbinger here from The Art of Charm. I'm kind of a big deal, and I like to be treated as such. Here's some tips to get VIP treatment at bars and restaurants that other people can barely get into. While this topic is too big to fully explore here, I'll tell you how to get started, and if you want more, check out the full article at pickuppodcast.com. 1. Start at the bar. Try having a meal there. Chat with the bartender a bit, introduce yourself to the maitre d', and get his or her card. Ask if the owner's around and introduce yourself to her or him. 2. Be one of the first customers. If you read local food blogs or visit foodie websites, you'll know what's opening and who's opening it. If it sounds good, go. Businesses frame their first bucks and treasure their first customers. 3. Send compliments to the chef. I know it sounds dorky, but it's almost always appreciated. Very few people do this. 4. Ask to be treated like a VIP. There's a particular restaurant in New York where I went and I loved it. So I called the manager, told her I was crazy about the place and would entertain there a lot if I could be pretty sure I'd be nicely looked after. I've been treated like a prince there ever since. I do entertain there whenever I can, both for business meals and with friends. There may be new restaurants cropping up all the time, but this place is still one of NYC's best, and it has me for life. Have fun out there, and be sure to catch Game On every Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sirius 108 XM 139.
TheArtOfCharm.com for more ways to live a great life and get the girl. Only on Stars 2. Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Are you in need of an IRS tax bailout? Do you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes? You need aggressive representation. Call now and speak to one of our tax attorneys, enrolled agents, or tax professionals that specialize in tax liens, back taxes, tax debt, wage garnishment, and collections. During these tough economic times, the IRS is looking for every penny they can get, and we know how to negotiate with them for you. We've settled millions of dollars of back taxes for a fraction of the cost. Call 800-734-5010 now and find the peace of mind knowing the IRS will not be knocking on your door. Protect your home, business, and family today. Call the professional tax team at 800-734-5010 now. You still have time before the tax laws change. Call today for your free, no-obligation consultation. This single telephone call with one of our tax attorneys, enrolled agents, or tax professionals could save you thousands. Call the professional tax team at 800-734-5010. That's 800-734-5010.
Jay Thomas. Show. The Jay Thomas Show. It's the afternoon show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Melissa Moore, the book is Shattered Silence. It's a story of her dad, who was a over-the-road trucker, Keith Hunter Jesperson, and he murdered at least 8 women in the Northwest in the early 90s, and he's now serving back-to-back life sentences. And
you can write them.
He used to sign letters with smiley faces and send it to journalists. Now, Melissa, do you think your dad killed more than 8 people?
He says 160. I think it really...
Well, wait a minute.
What?
He says 160.
Yeah, he does.
That's what he told you personally?
That's what he says in the media. That's what he's written down on paper to letters. But I think I don't think it's true. I think it's
maybe 150.
Oh yeah, who knows?
No, but I mean,
and all women.
And all women. Mm-hmm. That's what he says.
Yeah. Now you've opened up the door here. So did he? Your sister is 4 years younger than you. Okay. Did he ever do anything untoward with you or your sister or your brother? Anything?
No, he was. He just tried to be a really doting father to us.
But he never touched anybody or did anything that you would say was sexual in nature.
No, he never did.
Okay, let me ask one question. I know this is, coming from me, okay? Do you think, because I'm gay and I recently came out, do you think your dad is gay?
I don't know if he's gay or not. Well, he's in prison now. Who knows?
Yeah, no, but a hatred for women.
Yeah, maybe he couldn't deal with that, and then I'm just trying to figure it out and trying to clear his name.
Something horrible.
No, I'm not trying to clear his name. I'm not trying to clear his name.
You know what? Here's something else. There is, on some level, and it happens, in the animal world and in the human world. They're just people that the wires don't connect properly, and then perhaps bad stuff did happen to your dad. So when you try to explain it to yourself, what is your final explanation of your dad's horrifying behavior?
I think it was a combination of events plus his personality traits. And I know for a fact that it was a choice that he made, because I've done the studies, I've done the research, and he could have stopped at any time. He wasn't possessed to do it.
Would he rape the women also?
He would rape them.
He would rape them and then
Or would he
them.
pay them for sex, or say he was going to pay them?
Well, he probably didn't have to pay them if he was going to kill them.
No, but I mean,
then he would take the money back.
Yeah, take the money back.
He murdered them.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. I know. It's I think the hardest part about it is, as a teenager, as an adult, you never want to hear about your parents' sex life. And
absolutely not.
Never, ever. But this is even worse. It's not like my parents' sex life. It's like my dad's, brutal rapes. I read the letters that he would submit to the press and how he would.
And that would all be in the newspaper?
Not the details wouldn't be in the newspaper, but when I was writing my book, I wanted to know all the details because I lived in a world where I didn't want to know the details. I just wanted to pretend it didn't exist. But I wanted to just come face to face with it and really know the truth and how everything happened. And because it wasn't spoken around in our house. It was a taboo subject. My dad, anything related to my dad, we just didn't talk about. And so
is your mother still alive? Your mom's still alive?
She's alive. She went back to college, and she's doing really good now.
She's not dating. Is she dating again?
No.
Now, you met another family, and there was a serial killer daddy in that family?
I haven't personally met them. They live in my city. Yeah. I'll just say I live in Spokane, Washington, and this other killer I'm talking about is the Yates. And I think it's David Yates. If I get it wrong, I'm sorry, but he used to kill prostitutes on a main street in Spokane. It was called Sprague, and he killed so many different prostitutes on that street. And it was the year right after my dad was captured, and so when I was watching the media, I would see this family and what they were going through, and in a way, it made me feel better to know that I'm not alone. That I didn't wish that upon them, but it made me feel.
Well, it's a pretty shitty club to be a member of.
Yeah, right? You don't want to be a part of that club. Yeah,
no.
And but it did at least make me feel like I'm not alone, and I really had a lot of empathy for. He had some girls my age. I was, I think, 18 at the time. His oldest daughter was 17. So I really understood that. I never contacted them or anything, but they came to my mind as I was writing the book because I knew that I wasn't alone and that there's a lot of other family members out there that are just afraid to talk because of the humiliation that you feel when a family member does horrific things like this.
Well, okay, Melissa Moore, Shattered Silence. I'm going to ask you just a question about the writing of the book. Did you think of writing it yourself, or after they saw you on Dr. Phil, did somebody come to you and say it's a book?
After Dr. Phil, I was telling my story to one of the producers, just going into the details of everything I had overcome to get to that point, and he made a comment that this would be something that you should write about. And on the flight
so you got
home,
a book deal?
No, they didn't. It was not handed to me, and in no way was it just given to me.
You wrote
I did
the
it
book
all
first?
myself.
Yeah, okay. And you didn't have a ghostwriter. You sat down and started yourself.
Well, at first I wrote it myself, and then it just wasn't where I need. It was too raw. I just had gone through the journey.
And it was edited. I understand. Yeah. But you actually wrote the raw first draft of the book. Yep. And then who took it around for you? Because you're a housewife and a working mom and all that. Yeah, where did you take it, and who named it also? So where did you take it, and then who named it?
Well, I sent query letters to so many different agents, and they all turned it down. And I finally got a company in Utah, Cedar Fort, to believe in the project and see how I wanted it to come out. I wanted it to be more a story about hope and overcoming adversity than about the murders of my father. And so this company saw that, and they took a chance on me. And then the rest is kind of history with that. I got Bridget Cook on the project because I had seen her name on another book, and it just stood out to me that, yeah.
So you actually had to really, to sell your story, you had to work. Do your mother and you have two sisters and a brother, anybody in your family wish you hadn't written the book?
Several family members wish I hadn't.
Who doesn't want you to write the book? Who said that?
Well, my sister and my brother are supportive of me.
Good.
And my mom's supportive of me.
Okay.
Mostly my dad's side of the family.
Well, of course, the daddy's side. Did you send the book to your father?
I have not sent the book. He wants the book.
Oh, I'm going to send him the book.
He wants the book.
I'm sending him the book.
And Kevin's going to make him his friend on Facebook.
Yeah, he's going to be my friend on Facebook.
All right, well, listen, Melissa Moore, Shattered Silence, and you can go to melissagracemoore.com.
I want to be in the movie.
Get the book, or go to Amazon or whatever. It'll be, I'm sure, a movie. I'm sorry that your tremendous success came because of the horror that your dad did, but you just seem so squared away. And yes, I was thinking I wouldn't buy any kittens either for the kids. I was just, thinking that as
How
you said
about that new toy they had out this year? The little robotic hamster? How about that?
I wouldn't buy any.
Does it have
of that.
mercury? Does it have mercury or lead in it or something?
Yeah,
but the Chinese made it. They're trying to kill us all. Shattered Silence is the book.
Yeah.
Melissa Moore. Melissa, thanks very much.
You don't need animals.
Thanks a lot. Good luck. I'm glad and the marriage is okay, and the book is okay, and everything's going good for you. Okay.
Yeah, everything's going good. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for being on the show.
I'm going to be up in Washington performing up there. Maybe she can come see me do my comedy up there in Washington.
Oh, when are you coming up here?
You will love Kevin's comedy.
Yeah.
He kills.
Oh, don't say that.
That's a bad joke. That's a terrible joke.
Terrible. It's
All
on
right.
my website, but I'm coming up there in April, I think.
All right.
Okay.
You know what? Absolutely. I'd love for you to go. You go see it. Now, Melissa Moore.
And I'll give her free tickets.
MelissaGraceMoore.com. A Shattered Silence. And I bet you thousands of truckers are gonna buy this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Wow. Now,
What Yeah, she was cool.
I always want to know. I saw her on TV. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
Is
she pretty?
She is. She's attractive. Yeah, I mean, she's she's attractive, blonde, and just as nice as she could be. And you could hear she laughs.
She's very pretty.
Yeah. She's just nice as she can be.
Oh my God!
And you know what's funny? You hear that some guy said, "Oh, that sounds like a book," and all. And many times I get an idea for something, and here's the truth: nothing is easy, and people don't write things for you. And you got to sit down and write the book. How about she sends it out to people and no one wants it? How about that one?
Yeah.
She's the daughter of a serial killer, and no one wanted to do the book. Okay? Crazy. All right. The Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney.
The Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. Stars 2. The Curious. The Extreme. The Fascinating. Jay Thomas. On Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Super Bowl.
Hey, the Colts are AFC champions. The Saints are on their way to the Super Bowl.
Join Sirius NFL Radio all this week, live in South Florida. All your favorite hosts interviewing the league's top stars, plus interviews with players and coaches from the Colts and Saints. Then tune into the big game Sunday with 14 broadcasts in 10 languages and Colts and Saints hometown calls. You won't miss a second of the action. Go to Sirius.com/Super Bowl for more information. Sirius NFL Radio Channel 124. Your place for Super Bowl 44.
Fridays at 8 p.m. East. The Game On guys give you the tips and tricks to bag the girl.
Hey guys, Jordan Harbinger here from The Art of Charm. Everyone wants to improve their love life, their job, and their level of fitness, but most people actually don't expect for this to happen. For some people, it won't start until they go out and begin to have new experiences and begin to gather self-esteem building data. For others, it begins with recognizing what they truly expect. While this topic is too big to fully explore here, I'll tell you how to get started with it. If you want more, you can always go to pickuppodcast.com and dive right in. For someone who says they want to be fit, but they continue the same behaviors they exhibited before they decided to get fit, it would be illogical for them to expect to get any other results. It's the same for any situation. If you want a better job and you want a better life, but you don't change any of your behavior to create those changes, you're actually expecting to stay the same. One cannot truly expect change without working to make the changes. Reading a book does not create change. Reading 100 books does not create change. Reading books and then applying what you read to create new behaviors that lead you to living differently is what creates change. You read because you want to change. You create and practice new behaviors when you expect to change. If you're not getting the results you say you want, you need to stop and look at how you're behaving. If you say you want to be more social, but you're always coming up with an excuse not to go out, you're expecting to stay how you are right now.
Artofcharm.com for more ways to live a great life and get the girl. Only on Stars 2.
Stars 2.
Sirius 108 and XM 139. It's the biggest game of the year, and Covino and Rich are right where you'd expect them to be. In the middle of the perfect storm. The Super Bowl. Here we go. Stars 2 sends Covino and Rich to the Bud Light Hotel in South Beach for a week's worth of parties, a week's worth of nussies, a week's worth of thongs, and a week's worth of football. Covino and Rich live from Super Bowl weekend South Beach. The action starts Monday, February 1st, noon East from Bud Light and Stars 2. Sirius 108 and XM 139. Be here. Jay Thomas. The afternoon drive show on Stars 2. Jay Thomas. Jay Thomas. Jay Thomas. Stars 2. Stars 2. Jay Thomas. Sirius 108 and XM 139.
Go to jthomas.com. We're trying to find Rip Torn's arrest picture, mugshot. Try and put it up there. All right. Kevin Meaney, you can get him at his Facebook. He loves gathering.
I accept everybody. Go to my webpage, kevinmeaney.com. Come to me on Facebook.
I know that there is somebody listening to us who probably has killed somebody, and they're over the road trucker. Absolutely, I believe it. I mean,
people that have gotten away with it and just forgot about it.
I'm telling you,
I'm hoping I've never killed anybody.
No, not you.
I know, but if I blacked out
or
from drinking or drugs and maybe I've killed somebody.
You get somebody in the cab of your truck and they give you some crap and you slap them and you beat them up a little bit, then you're scared they're going to tell and you kill them. The daddy said he killed 160,
160, and he only admitted to 8.
Hey, Garrett, when you were on a vacation with your dad, you ever talk about how he would kill people and throw them in the marsh? You ever do that?
Not that I recall.
No, my dad would talk about the cosmos, the stars, and how to measure a pipe when you were drilling an oil well.
My dad would talk about how he would steal all the toys from the kids that they used to donate all the toys to the firehouse for the kids that didn't have anything.
Toys for
Yes.
Yeah, and then he would take them all and bring them all home to us.
Toys for Kevin?
Yeah,
your dad would tell you that little happy story?
He told us that just recently. Now that he's getting older,
Now, why didn't he go? He didn't have any money?
Didn't have any money. Poor? They had too many kids. They didn't have any money.
How many children came in? Were you and
we had 5 kids.
Wow, then, I didn't know that. Brothers and sisters?
And then they had some other kids that they brought in to help, like foster kids we had.
So when you were a kid, you had 8-10 kids running around your house?
Mm-hmm. And then animals.
Wow. Now, are you the only gay member of your family?
Yes.
Isn't that so?
Only gay.
Wow. James of Kentucky. Yes, James, the Jay Thomas Show. Hello, James. How are you?
I'm great. Listen, I just want to say that was fantastic, that interview you done with that lady. But I have a question. Mm-hmm. That goes to you. Now I'm going to talk to Kevin.
Okay.
My question is, when Jay or one of you asked if the mother was remarried, and then Kevin chimed in and said, well, she didn't marry and then he stopped. What were you going to say, Kevin?
Oh, what was I going to say? She didn't marry. But what did you think I was going to say?
I don't know.
I was scared.
You were scared.
I asked her if she had a T-shirt.
You think you were scared? How do you think I felt? I wanted this woman to be. But you know what? I will tell you.
I was very good with her today.
I mean, tell him the truth, kid. I don't say anything to you before the interview, do I?
Yeah, but the people here at Sirius, they talk to me.
No, they didn't.
They did.
I don't say anything to you because either you're going to do what you do or not do what you do.
Well,
and I'm not going to stop
it's a big corporation here, Sirius Satellite Radio.
Will you stop it?
So it's
can I be honest with you? They don't care enough to say anything to anybody that works
they do.
here.
They do care. They care about the show.
They've said something to you about being on this show?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think when I said, James, you'll love Kevin, he kills?
I turned the radio down. That was scary.
And I did it. They say, don't open with that. That's what they say. Don't open with that one. So.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what? I have to tell you, for a person that's been through everything she's been through, you could I hope she makes millions of dollars.
I could feel her. I could definitely feel her pain,
Oh.
But I'll tell you what, Jay, after that interview, she has sold me the book. I mean, she was great.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
By the way, are you an over the road trucker?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Have
you ever have a gay experience?
You ever? Well, that's the first question.
No.
Second question, you ever kill anybody and you just left them dead and you're over the road trucker and no one could find you?
No, I have not. But Jay, I can tell you a quick story. In Memphis, Tennessee, at a truck stop, I was getting fuel and then I was pulling around to leave the parking lot, and there was a dead prostitute laying in between two trucks.
Oh.
So it
and
does
what
happen
happened to
out there.
that? What was the?
Did you just keep on going?
No, I got the fuck out of there. I didn't.
Well, maybe
you
she
mean
was
you
sleeping.
just let her lay there dead?
She could have been sleeping.
Oh, the ambulance and everything was there. They were just talking about it, and they said somebody had killed her, left her laying between these two trucks, and they can't just blame it on the two drivers that are right there that she's between. They got to start going around and investigating this deal. And I said, well, I didn't have anything to do with it. So I left.
You had to get out of there. Yeah.
Now, how many years ago was this?
Oh, maybe that was.
That was, I would say, 11 years ago. I was driving.
This could have been
Keith Hunter.
This
Jesperson.
could have been the guy. Yeah, he was driving into
killer.
He was driving into the 90s. The late. Isn't that something? Wow. Now she was all cut open. You said she was split open.
No, see, the ambulance and stuff was there, and they had already put a sheet over the top of her. And I just heard through the what exactly was going on. So
you heard through the CB,
happen.
Right?
Well, I'm sorry.
You heard through the CB.
Yes.
Yeah, the
yes.
CB.
Wow.
I love the CB.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I didn't get out and walk up and just look.
What's your handle?
The best thing to do was
What's your handle?
my handle. Bulldog.
Bulldog.
It was old Bulldog out there. James Bulldog.
From Mississippi, so.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Mine is
James.
I'm Tomato Face.
Thank you.
If you ever hear any of me out there, I'm Tomato Face.
Tim of Georgia. Yes, Tim. How are you?
All right. Have you heard this rumor about Love Roller Coaster by the Ohio Players?
Yeah, I did that. I started that rumor years ago in Charlotte, North Carolina, where you hear the woman screaming in the background, and supposedly I started that. That's not true.
What was that now? What is the rumor?
Play Love Roll. You'll hear a woman scream. Listen, hold on. I started this in Charlotte. Usually.
Yeah.
It's in the background. Wait, hold on.
Supposed to hear.
You know what? I thought it came sooner, but there's a scream in it somewhere, and I started that and did like a whole week of there was a murder in it and all that. No, it's not true. Not true.
Yeah.
I did all that stuff. Whenever there was a rumor, instead of saying it wasn't true, I said it was true. No matter what the rumor was, I said it was true.
That was your kind of like, that's what you did for the radio?
That's what I did.
And that's why you're a legend.
That's right. Now, that was a long time ago. Who told you about that, Tim?
I saw something about it on VH1.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about right, VH1.
Were you? Well, maybe that was the History Channel, the history of DJing.
It's almost the history. It's almost. Okay, thank you, Tim of Georgia. By the way, every religion in the world is trying to keep their ranks up. Kevin. Mm-hmm. The Baptists are stealing children in Haiti. Mm-hmm. These Baptists from Idaho. The Scientologist, Travolta has gone over there with Scientologist ministers. The Israelis, rabbis, and Jewish doctors are there. And the hip-hop monks. Do we have the monks? They're losing monks. And
the monkeys?
The monks.
Davy Jones?
Monks. No,
Peter
monks.
Tork?
Monks.
Mickey Dolenz?
Chinese monks. Do we have the hip-hop monks
Asian.
in the show?
You have to say Asian monks.
Garrett, do we have them? The Chinaman monks?
You can't say Chinese monks.
Here we go. Hip-hop monks.
All right.
Hard to hit a button. Here we go. Come on.
Chinese.
The hip-hop monks aren't working?
I like Chinese.
Here we go. This is real.
Buddhism as it has been for centuries.
Buddhism 2010. Forget the chanting, bring on the rapping, says the monk at the mic, Kansho Tagai, though he prefers his street name, Mr. Happiness.
Okay,
Mr.
baby,
Happiness.
no problem. この世で生きるは苦しいこと。
This is a traditional Buddhist mantra, just updated with a hip-hop beat. And that's the point, says Mr. Happiness.
お経が難しくてわからない。
People say Buddhist sutras are hard to understand, he says. If it's interpreted in a modern way and sung as a rap, young people might accept Buddhism. Getting the young back to religion is key to Buddhism's survival. In Japan, it's a religion in crisis, says Tagai. Every year, hundreds of temples are closing across Japan. It's a similar struggle seen by religions around the world. The number of Christians in the U.S. fell
This is
by
the typical
11%
Japanese
in just one
woman with
generation.
the
Hoping to keep the
American.
faithful in the
She's
fold,
just like the
monks
woman on
here
Family
are trying
Guy.
to give their religion a facelift.
Here we go.
So
Hip
how
hop
about
monks.
a drink with your sutra? This is the Monk Bar.
There you
Temple
go.
is a tavern. Shaking up the specials, bona fide monk Zenshin Fujioka.
極楽浄土。
Choose your poison. Heaven and hell are the house specials.
本当の仏教を
This is closer to what Buddhism was intended to be, says Zenshin. Today's temples are disconnected from the ordinary person. Like all monks, Zenshin is trained in the old ways, in an ancient language most Japanese don't quite understand. But in a modern bar setting, the monks say the faithful talk at ease about their problems and discuss
All right, that's the
faith
Jay
at
Thomas Show, home of the hip hop monks.
Wow.
Kevin, I'll see you later.
All right, Jay.
Bye-bye.
Hip Hop Monk.
Just weeks ago, Vampire Weekend became the first independent act since 2007 to have an album debut at #1. Now, they're spending a week at SiriusXM.
Hey, what's up? I'm Christopher. I'm Ezra from Vampire Weekend.
Me and my cousins, and you and your cousins.
Vampire Weekend. Perform live in studio as they guest host afternoons on SiriusXMU. Hear it every day this week from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern on North America's indie rock station, Sirius 26.
SiriusXMU.
Every straight guy needs a gay friend. Michael Billy's not going to change you, just make you better.
It's time to man up on having a good time without getting drunk. Most people aren't alcoholics, but many use alcohol as a social lubricant. For many, alcohol lets you loosen up and be more outgoing. For some, it's a must to have a good time. The tough part is drinking too much and making an ass of yourself. All I'm saying is that it's important to man up and see if you can be as fun and social without depending on alcohol. I'm not saying you have to stop drinking altogether. No, not at all. But I do think it's in your best interest to know you can have a good time without drinking. Same thing goes for cigarettes. Any type of dependence is not a good look. You're letting something else control you instead of you being in control. So give your personality a test drive and see how you do socially without drinking. Go out with a couple of friends and make it a point to not drink, to see if you really need a drink to have a good time. If you definitely think you need a few shots before having a good time, then you probably need to work on your people skills. Or maybe the people you hang out with just aren't entertaining unless you're drunk. Maybe you just need more entertaining friends.